Hello, namaste. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. I'm coming on to do a 30 to 40 minute little mini series, and the intention today is going to be around surrender. And to practice this, I'm going to practice outside in the campground where there are tons of cars coming in and out, and it's just very distracting. So that'll be good. That'll be good for our theme today, I hope, because I really wanted to do this practice outside. All right, so if you'd like to join, you can grab 2 blocks, a yoga bolster, meditation cushion, a blanket. If you don't have these items, that's perfectly fine. You don't need them. Or you can substitute. You can grab a few pillows if you'd like. We're just going to use some props to just explore, because I used to think of props as, oh, I don't need them. That's just something you would need if you can't do a certain pose, but that's not true. You can use them props in many different ways, to help access a pose better, to go deeper in a pose and a stretch. So there's lots of different ways that we can use this. And go ahead and pause this video, grab all those items, and meet me on your mat when you're ready. When you're ready, we're going to come to Sukhasana, or easy seat. And you can put your pillow or meditation cushion under you if you'd like. We're going to do some breath work here. We're going to start with breath work, and then we're going to start with our sun salutes, and we're just going to continue through the practice. And yeah, that's how this is going to go. We will start with the Ujjayi breath work. So come to a comfortable seat, have your spine erect, reach your crown towards the sky. You can have palms facing down for grounding energy, or palms facing up for more of a surrendering energy. And Ujjayi breath work is very simple. We really just make like a constricting type of feel in our throat, which is similar to fogging up a mirror, like that noise. But we do it with our mouth closed, and when we breathe in, we constrict and breathe in through our nose, fully filling up the lungs. We pause, and then we breathe out fully. And I'm getting a phone call, so we're right on track for surrender. And like I said, on the out breath, you're also going to make this with your mouth closed, fully releasing all the air. Okay, and this is going to be a 1-minute session, and we're going to do 2 of them, so it's going to end up being 2 minutes. Okay. Let's begin. Inhale. Hold at the top. And exhale. Fully releasing all the air. Inhale. Filling up the lungs with fresh new oxygen. Holding at the top. And exhaling fully. Feeling that release. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, fill up your lungs. Feel your shoulders rise. And exhale. Feeling those shoulders drop away from your ears. Inhale, restricting the throat, making that audible oceanic sound. Very calming, very peaceful. And exhale, keep the mouth closed through the nose. It's like ocean waves crashing on the beach. Inhale. Exhale. You can continue at your own pace for about 30 seconds, and I'll let you know when it's time to stop. You can keep your eyes closed if you'd like. Bringing your shoulders down and away from your ears. Lifting to the ground. Beautiful. Now we're centered and ready to start our practice today. So come to stand at the top of your mat in Tadasana. You can bring your hands to your heart center and bow your head and connect with your breath. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Today we're going to set an intention of complete surrender in today's practice. Trust that you're always guided, you're safely held, and you're loved beyond measure. Things happen in life that can be distracting, but we need to just surrender to the present moment. Enjoy where we are now, feeling thankful for this life. Come in Tadasana. You can have your feet hip-width distance apart, or you can have your toes and heels together, arms outstretched, palms facing forward, feeling stacked and in alignment from ankle all the way up to the neck and the crown of the head. Engage your core, lift the knees. Inhale, the arms up, palms to touch at the top, gazing skyward. Exhale, forward fold, hands through heart center. Inhale to halfway lift. You can bring your hands to your shins. Let your hands step back into plank. Exhale as you move through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale as you roll over your toes into downward dog. And let your head hang here. You can reach your heels to the mat. If they don't reach, that's perfectly fine where they are now. We're meeting ourselves where we are in this moment on our mat. And breathe. Anytime you want to come back to your Ujjayi breath, you are welcome to. You can just breathe with movement with your Ujjayi breath. On your next inhale, look up and step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a complete forward fold. Feeling the stretch in the back of our hamstrings more so than our lower back. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, palms to touch, and exhale, hands through heart center. We're going to go through that one more time. Inhale. Palms touch the top. Exhale, forward fold. Releasing. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back here. Plant your hands, step back into plank. Shift your weight forward and exhale as you hug the elbows in and go down. You can come onto your knees, untuck your toes, your belly. Then we can press up here into baby cobra. You shouldn't have any crunching in your low back. You can press on up into your full upward dog. Your hands are right under your shoulders. Maybe your thighs lift off the mat. I invite you to open your heart to the sky, creating space here. And breathe. Roll over the toes and exhale into your downward facing dog. We'll take 2 breaths here at our own pace. Inhale as you lengthen through the crown of your head. And exhale as you press your heart to your shins. Sacrum reaching up towards the sky, heels reaching for the mat. Look to the top of your mat. You can jump or step up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, hands through heart center. On your next inhale, we're going to sit back as we rise, lift the arms up overhead. We're going to be sitting back like we're sitting into a chair. If you'd like, you can take a block here and place it in between your knees. And the arms are going to be out in front of us, reaching towards the sky. Our core is engaged. Squeeze your knees into your block. Or if you don't have your block, just knees, squeezing your knees in together. Feeling strong, feeling the heat rising. Exhale, forward fold. If you've still got your block, you can imagine pushing your block to the back of the room, rotating your inner thighs back. And you can remove your block now. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back into your plank. Shift your weight forward and move through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Roll over your toes and exhale into your down dog. Lift your right leg into 3-legged dog. Inhale. And exhale, step it through to meet your hands at the top. And we're going to swivel our back foot at 45 degrees and come up into Warrior One. We want to make sure our knee is over our ankle in this pose. Reaching our arms toward the sky. Now you can straighten your front leg and drop your hands down behind you and interlace your fingers. We're going to take Humble Warrior here. So interlace your fingers and square your shoulders to the front. Exhale as you start to hinge from the hips, coming forward, letting your hands rise above your head. Have a slight bend in the front of your right knee. Ujjayi breath. Feeling like a humble warrior in this pose. Humility is such a beautiful thing. Inhale as you press your weight into your front leg to come back up. And bring your hands down to your mat and step back into your plank. Exhale, move through your vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Lift your left leg to the sky now, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, sweep that leg through, meeting your fingers at the top, swiveling your back foot out 45 degrees, and rising up into your warrior one. Press through the knife outside of your back foot. So you're pressing that down into the mat. It tries to lift up on us at times, but we're going to work on pressing that. If you need to take a wider stance, you're definitely welcome to do that. Inhale. And exhale as you sink deeper into your warrior one. Feeling the strength here. Feeling our own inner fire. Then you can come up and straighten that leg. Bring your hands down. Interlace your fingers behind you. Inhale as you open your heart, open the space in your chest. Lifting your face to the sky. Exhale, hinge from your hips, start to come forward, and let your arms float overhead. Keeping a slight micro bend in that front knee. Breathing and staying present on our mat. Flowing with our movements and breath. Feeling grateful for this time that we get to move our bodies and that we get to be here today. Inhale, rise. You can unlace your fingertips and step that back foot up to the top of our mat. We're going to be in Tadasana here. And I want you to kind of rock forwards and backwards, side to side, just finding your own center, your own balance. Really ground your feet into the mat. Imagine them having suction cups onto them and pressing the floor away. As at the same time you're lifting your head, lifting through the crown towards the sky. Feeling completely safe and completely held in this moment. As we come into tree pose, we're going to bring all of our weight into our right foot. Our left foot is going to bend, and we can bring the left foot into the inner ankle of the standing foot. If we have a full tree, you can go ahead and help that leg on up to the inner thigh. You can bring your hands to heart center here. Sometimes we like to dump into this pose like this or this way. Just make sure you're pressing into your inner thigh and lift the crown of your head. Bring that right hip in a bit. And when you find your drishti, your point of focus, inhale as you grow your tree. Arms coming up overhead. Feeling such strength in this balance. And you can stay here for a few breaths. And exhale to come down. Now bringing our weight into our left leg. We can bring our right foot to our inner ankle. And this is a beautiful tree. There's nothing wrong with this tree right here. Today we're surrendering and we're embracing ourselves where we are in our practice in this moment. Not judging ourselves for not being able to do any extravagant, crazy poses or being able to hold them forever. It's not what it's about. We're meeting ourselves right now in this moment with unconditional support and love, allowing ourselves to just be. If you'd like to bring your leg on up for your full tree, if it's in your practice, you can do so. Having your hands at heart center, breathing here, finding your drishti, pressing into your inner thigh, and our core is engaged. Inhale, lift your hands to the sky and grow your tree out. Breathe, maybe you want to use your Ujjayi breath. Exhale, hands to heart center. We can bring our leg down to come out of that pose. Now we're going to step back for our low lunge. So bring all of your weight into your left foot, and you can grab your blanket here if you have it. And we're going to just step our foot all the way back in a very wide stance. Our right leg goes back. You can drop your blanket down to, we're going to eventually drop our right knee. So you want to have your blanket to where your right knee will be coming down. You can bring your hands to your shins and go ahead and drop the knee down. We want to make sure our front knee here is over the ankle, directly over the ankle. Make sure that your back toes are untucked so that the top of your foot is laying on your mat. Inhale, bring your arms back into like a cactus position and open your heart to the sky. Breathing here. If you need to take a wider stance, you can step your toe out to feel that deep stretch in your right hip. But being mindful to keep our knee over our ankle in the front leg. Open your heart to the sky. Just breathing and feeling ourselves creating more space in our heart. Exhale, extend your front leg. And we're going to just take a fold here as we let our heel come up. Our heel is going to stay on the mat and our toes are going to come up. And we're just going to take a slight little fold over our front leg here. Now bring that other leg back to your blanket. And we'll step our right foot out to the top of our mat. Finding our sweet spot here for that deep stretch now in the left hip. Inhale, open your arms, cactus arms to the sky. Breathe. Feeling a lightness in our breath. Even though this pose has definitely got some effort involved, some balance, needing stability, we can still find that lightness in our breath and in our heart space. Drop your shoulders down and away from your ears. And breathe. It's okay to let go and to trust. This makes room for what is meant for us, instead of holding on and clinging to what is no longer serving us. Okay, now you can tuck your back toe, as we're going to come up, plant your hands in front of you. We're going to step up to the top of our mat and inhale for a halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. You can grab behind your ankles and pull for a deeper stretch if you'd like. Or you can take ragdoll, which is where you grab your shoulders, you grab your elbows, and you sway side to side. And just totally releasing into this pose. And breathing here. Drop your hands to the floor as you slowly roll vertebrae by vertebrae as we're coming up to stand at the top of our mat. Taking a full inhale at the top. On your exhale, I want you to step out into a wide-legged stance on your mat. And you can move that blanket out now if you'd like. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale to open your heart. Bring those shoulders back. And exhale, forward fold into your wide-legged fold. We can start to walk our hands back behind us, having a bend in the elbows. Or we can grab onto our toes with peace fingers and pull. Not going past our edge here, just meeting ourselves, practicing ahimsa, non-harming. Meeting our edge with grace and equal parts effort and surrender. Inhale, bring your hands to the middle of your mat, into the middle of your stance. I want you to plant your right hand down, or if you need a block, it's perfectly fine to grab your block here at whatever mode you need. You can do taller mode, tallest mode. We're going to plant our right hand onto our mat or our block here as our left hand comes to the sky for a twist. Inhale, breathe. And exhale. If you'd like to take this a little deeper, with our right hand, we're going to grab onto the outer side of our left ankle. Now, the right hand is going to come through the back side, closest to our leg. And we're going to try to reach for the outer right thigh here. If this is too much, you can stay where you were. It's perfectly fine. And exhale. Drop your hands to the mat. We're now going to plant our left hand onto our block or our mat and lift our right to the sky. Feeling grateful for this present moment. Feeling peace. And if you'd like to take this one further, we're going to, with our left hand, grab your outer ankle of your right foot. And the right hand is going to sweep through closest to the thigh and reach for the left outer thigh. Connecting with our Ujjayi breath if it serves us. Hearing that oceanic rhythmic sound. Exhale, drop your hands to your mat, bring them to your hips, and inhale to lift. We're going to take what I like to call Spider-Man here, which is fun. I'm not sure what the actual yogic name for this pose is, but we're going to stay in our wide-legged stance, and we're going to just we're going to bend into our right leg as we plant our hands down while we have the other leg extended out. And I should turn like this so you can see me. And you can have your hands in front of you. We're just going to feel a stretch here in our inner left thigh. Or you can take a hand behind you, playing with our balance here. Coming up to our fingertips. Or coming down, making what I like to call cupcake hands, cupcake fingers. Pressing into that leg to feel that stretch. We'll take it on the other side here, switching our Spider-Man on this side. However you need to place your hands just to feel comfortable and feel that stretch on your inner right thigh. Beautiful. Now we're going to come into garland pose, so you can come to stand right like this. I'm going to get readjusted here so you can see me. We're going to take our block and place it right to where we would sit on it. And we're going to come into garland pose. So you want your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance. And the goal of this pose, I don't like to say goal, but the end goal of this pose is to have your feet planted. And this is very difficult. We're going to bend here. We want to keep a flat back. So lift the chest, press the elbows into the inner thighs. And you can sit back on your block if you need to. That's perfectly fine. I almost always sit on my block in this pose. Breathe. You can close your eyes if you'd like here. Press through your feet, pressing the hands into each other in prayer at the heart center, while also pressing out through the elbows, feeling that inner thigh stretch. And if you'd like to move your block, you can, and try garland pose without a block. You can come onto your tippy toes, or if you would like to try, you can come onto flat feet. If you fall out of it, that's fine. I think that's a challenging pose. Okay, we're gonna come onto our bottoms now on our mats into cobbler's pose. Bringing the feet to touch. This can also be called butterfly. Inhale to lift your heart. You can have your hands on your feet. And exhale, we're going to take a forward fold. Maybe we're touching our toes to the top of our head. If you'd like to walk your hands out in front of you, you can do that as well. Connect with your breath. And come to your edge. Wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. It's not about how far you can go, how deep you can stretch. It's about meeting yourself where you are and feeling the softness in your breath. Feeling connected to our innermost self and surrendering to that. Inhale to lift, and we're going to come into child's pose, and we're going to do a variation of child's pose that feels so amazing. Have both your blocks here. If you don't have your blocks, that's okay. You can go ahead and get into your regular child's pose. You can do a wide-legged, which your back toes touch and your knees come out wide as you take your child's pose. So bring your hands out in front of you, dropping the head to the mat. If you have your blocks, we can explore here with what mode they're on, but I like to have them in this mode here. Have them a little bit wider than shoulders width apart. And we'll have to find our center here, so you can step back a little bit. And coming into child's pose, we want to have the back of our arm here coming onto our block. And then we're going to touch our hands into prayer behind our head. And you can readjust here to wherever you feel comfortable. Whenever you feel comfortable and get into your pose here, that feels good. Just let your head hang and drop to the mat. Stay here for a few breaths, just surrendering to the rest in this pose. We've done a lot of work, so this is a great time to reconnect and restore. And stay there for a few more breaths. When you're ready, we'll remove our blocks and we're going to come into cat-cow. So we'll have our hands planted into the mat, shoulder width apart, and our knees are hip width distance apart. Inhale. We're going to also have our back feet. They're not tucked up, they're pressing into the top of our mat. The tops of our feet are pressing into our mat. Inhale. Bring your head towards the sky, open your heart. And exhale, round your back, round the spine, letting out any oxygen in the body. Inhale. Bring our head toward the sky, creating that bend in our back. We can sway side to side if we'd like. I love this pose because it moves a lot of energy in our body with linking our breath with our inhale and exhale. So I invite you to move through a couple of these on your own. Inhale. And exhale. Releasing any trapped or stuck energy in our body. We can take circles here in a clockwise motion. Then we can take it counterclockwise. Let's press up now into a down dog. Lift your right leg to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, sweep it through. And we're going to take pigeon here. So we're going to have our right leg parallel and drop your back leg down. If you want to stick a block underneath your bottom here, you're welcome to do that. So this front leg is parallel. If it starts to come in, that's okay too. Straighten your back leg out, press it back, untuck the toes, press through the top of your back foot. You can bring your other block now here in front of you. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, we're gonna fold onto our block, feeling that very deep stretch in our right leg and our hip. You can remove the block if you'd like to sink a little bit deeper. Connect with your breath. Let your head hang. Completely and fully surrendering now into this pose. You can move your block out if you'd like, or keep it. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Wherever you are, fully arrive now. We hold a lot of emotions in our hips, so this is a beautiful way to release any emotions that are stuck and no longer serving us. Inhale, bring your hands to your mat as you lift, and you can untuck your back toe and kind of pull back to feel a deeper stretch here. And then plant your hands in front of you, and we're going to bring our weight into our left back foot as we step the right foot back into down dog. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, sweep that one through for pigeon on the other side. Untucking the back foot, maybe bringing that block behind the left buttocks and the other block in front of us. Dropping our elbows now to our block. Connecting with our ujjayi breath, our oceanic rhythmic breath. And this oceanic sound helping us to stay fully present in the moment. If you'd like to move your block out for a deeper stretch, you can do that as well. Arriving fully where we are. Taking a few more breaths here. Plant your hands in front of you. You can move your block out if it's back there. And just bring your right leg back. And we're going to come into our cat-cow position here. And we're going to take hero's pose. So I like to have a block behind my bottom in this. And we're going to sit down on our block. And our legs are going to come out beside of us. You can adjust your block as needed. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, drop your hands back behind you, coming onto those cupcake fingertips. And let your head just drop. Let your head hang back behind you. Feeling so much gratitude for this practice. Surrendering to whatever is happening in our lives, just surrendering to that. Letting go of control. Stay here for a few more breaths. Letting go of control can be very scary to us at times. But when we surrender to God or the universe or whatever term you'd like to use, it's just with ease that we're completely guided. When we surrender up our control because we know that there's a divine plan. And that everything is going to be okay. Inhale to come back onto our knees, to remove your block, to come out of this pose. We're going to come onto our backs here for happy baby. You can grab your toes with peace fingers and rock side to side. Do an audible sigh out. Inhale, fill up your lungs all the way. And exhale, an audible sigh out. You can grab your knees and hug them in and rock side to side as well. Feeling such a release in our back and our hips. And stay here for another breath. Rocking side to side. Come on to your back now. You can have your knees lifted towards the sky. We're gonna take our version of an inversion. So you can simply just lift your legs to the sky. Press your feet like you're pressing the ceiling or the sky away. Plant your hands firmly into the mat. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. And this is a beautiful inversion. You can also rock up into your, hold on, my mic here's getting crunched. You can rock up into your supported shoulder stand. Having the hands at the low back to support. Wherever you are, stay here for a few breaths. Just reversing that flow of blood for a few minutes. Feeling the effort in our legs and our feet pressing through, while feeling the surrender in our upper body and our breath. Okay, you can come out of your inversion now. We're going to take a variation of child's pose. Of Shavasana. So if you'd like to take your regular Savasana, we're just going to come flat onto our backs, open our palms toward the sky, let our legs splay out. If you'd like to be in the supported Savasana, take your pillow or your meditation cushion and put that behind your back, not really under your bottom, but just behind your back. And you're going to take your 2 blocks or 2 extra pillows. We're going to come into cobbler's pose here with our feet touching. Put the blocks underneath where your legs are. And let your head go back to let your head touch the mat, the top of your head. And open your hands up into cactus or goalpost arms. And just completely surrendering. We're going to stay in Savasana for 5 minutes. So stay in your Savasana and just start to lengthen your inhales. And soften your exhales. Connect to your natural rhythm of your breath. In this version of Savasana, our bodies are completely open. You may feel completely relaxed, or maybe even a little vulnerable, and know that that is okay. Being vulnerable is what allows us to feel. It's how we experience love in the deepest way. I invite you to allow yourself to open up your heart to life and to others. I promise it's worth it. Connect with your breath and fall into your meditative state. Waking up back to the present moment, bringing some energy into our hands and feet, maybe wiggling our toes and fingers, bringing the awareness back into our body now. You can remove your blocks out to the sides. You can remove your meditation cushion or your pillow out from behind you. And you can come up with knees bent and just give yourself a hug. Just wrap your arms around your legs. It's not often that we give ourselves a hug. Know that you are so loved beyond what you can imagine. I surrender to whatever is happening in my life. I realize that it is out of my control. And I trust that God has got this. I trust that there is a reason. You are divinely unique. And I invite you to explore that there may be a lesson in this current challenge you're facing. I trust in divine timing, and I surrender to what is. And we can come now into lotus or easy seat, whatever feels comfortable. Hands to heart center. And I invite you to stay on your mat for just a few breaths here. Maybe close your eyes and check in with yourself without judgment, comparing how you felt before stepping onto your mat today, how you felt in your body, how you felt in your mind, how you felt in spirit, and how you feel now. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this practice as much as I did.